A diplomatic storm is brewing in Finland as US President Donald Trump set to hold meeting, yes, with the Biafra's Prime Minister in exile, yes, BLGIEPM Simon Ekpa. Yes, this begs the question, what does Trump know and why is he getting involved in things of the Biafra? First of all, we already know why Trump is getting involved or why he wants things or is siding the Biafra people. Okay, my people, without further ado, welcome back to Expose News. Welcome back to your number one YouTube channel. If you're joining us for the first time, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too. All right, without wasting your time, we'll be going into the news direct. Simon Ekpa, a controversial figure, yes, in the Biafra independence struggle, has been set or has been at the center of international debates over self-determination, terrorism allegations, and political persecution. While his followers hail him as a freedom fighter, which PM Ekpa is indeed a freedom fighter, the Zoo government insists that he is a threat to national security and accusing him of inciting violence in the southeast. Of course, that is what they say. And my people, one thing I would always talk about whenever we come to this particular talk of this propaganda they are pushing is, why would a man still incite violence in a place that he is fighting for freedom? A big question that I want you to answer, or those that are pushing this rubbish. All right, following fresh attacks in Biafraland and reports linking pro-Biafra forces to recent clashes with Zoo troops, pressure has increased and has mounted on Finland to take a decisive action against PM Ekpa. Diplomatic sources suggest that Zoo authorities have been lobbying for his arrest or extradition, fueling expectations that Finland may soon act against him. But just as tensions reached a boiling point, an unexpected force has entered the equation: Donald Trump. Now, this begs the question, just like I talked about earlier on, why is Donald Trump getting in? Why is Donald Trump getting involved? Let us go into the details. Let us still talk about it. In a move that has turned political people, those political analysts, Trump's team has confirmed that he is closely monitoring the situation and is preparing to intervene. Reports suggest that Trump sees Ekpa's case as a global test of freedom, democracy, and the right to self-determination issues he has repeatedly championed on the world stage. President Trump is aware of what's happening and he's concerned, a source close to the US president stated. This is bigger than just one man. This is about the suppression of voices fighting for their freedom. Trump's planned meeting is expected to include international human rights organizations, key political figures, and pro-Biafra activists, setting the stage for a major diplomatic showdown. If Trump decides to openly back PM Ekpa, it could shift the global conversation on Biafra struggle and put the Zoo government under intense national scrutiny, which is the truth of the matter. Because of course, if once PM Ekpa comes up and says or makes such comment, it's going to be on another level. While we're still talking about that, chaos has broken in Finland as protests have erupted. He said news of Trump's intervention has sparked a wave of reaction across Finland. Zoo demonstrators have taken the streets demanding Ekpa's immediate arrest, or immediate extradition, chanting slogans against Biafra's secessionist movement. They insist that Finland must not harbor individuals they claim are responsible for instability in Nigeria. Meanwhile, pro-Biafra supporters have responded with counter-protests, warning that any move against PM Ekpa would be seen as an attack on Biafrans worldwide. The situation is so volatile that Finnish security forces have been placed on high alert, with extra measures taken to prevent clashes between opposing groups. We will resist any attempt to silence our leader, one Biafra activist declared. If Finland makes the mistake of betraying Ekpa, millions of Biafrans will rise, and the betrayal would mean to extradite PM Ekpa to to the zoo government or to Nigeria. Continuing, what is next? What is next? With Trump now involved, the situation is now unpredictable than ever. Will Finland bow to zoo pressure and move against PM Ekpa full time, or will Trump's influence force a reconsideration of the case? One thing is certain: this is no longer just about PM Ekpa, it's about power politics and the fight for Biafra's future. Yes, that is what it is.
Release of Mazi Simon Ekpa is, in fact, is the most important thing that we will be talking about right now. I'm telling you, the most important thing that every genuine Biafran should be talking about right now is the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa. I am telling you, because it concerns everybody. The release of Mazi Simon Ekpa will make the zoo not to use their criminal judges and their compromised court to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unjustly. Let me tell you, be very, very careful and listen very, very attentively. The release of Mazi Simon Ekpa will stop the zoo from using their criminal judges and compromised court to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that is their target. That is their target. I am telling you, that is number one. Then number two, the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to stop the invasion and the massacre of our people by the Fulani jihadists. This is what the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa will end. I am telling you, I know the reason why I'm saying that. I know exactly the reason why I'm saying so. You people do not understand what is happening here. You people don't understand what is going on here in Biafra territory. You don't know. You are, maybe many of you, some of you are in abroad. You don't know. You don't really know what is happening in Biafraland. You don't know. Hey. You don't know. Let's continue.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Rice News. Over the past few weeks, social media have been swamped by gory pictures of dead bodies of men, women, and children allegedly killed by rampaging through farming communities.
They are not, there is nothing like allegedly or alleged. There is nothing like that. It's happening. These are realities. It happened and it's still happening. These are realities. I have videos, video evidences, not even the one that was pulled from social media, video evidences that was directly sent to me. I want to repeat myself. I have video evidences and pictorial evidences that were directly sent to me for me to use it to make broadcast. Unfortunately, I have not been around for the past 3 weeks. Yes, that's why I was not talking. That's why I wasn't broadcasting. I've not been around for the past 3 weeks. But I still have those videos because I knew that I'm going to make use of it. These things happened. And it's still happening as I'm speaking to you right now. Our people have not been able to return to their homes and their farmlands in Ehamufu. So I've compiled those videos that were sent to me We are going to make use of it this night. And of course, we will now head straight to the Prime Minister's protest. I want you to see the reason why you, especially those of you living in Europe and those of you living in America, I want you to see the reason why you must, in fact, you have to oblige, you have to attend this very protest. We have to shake the Finnish street, to let them know that this man they are holding is extremely important to us. Since Mazi Simon Ekpa was arrested in Finland, my brothers and sisters everywhere, Ajugoyi, everywhere Ajugoyi, I am talking about the restoration of Biafra, the march to freedom, everywhere, every single way Ajugoyi, everywhere Ajugoyi. Then everywhere Juruoyi because over or for the restoration of Biafra. Man, everywhere Dioko for the massacre of our people, both by the Zoo Janjaweed military and of course, by their foot soldiers. The Zoo Janjaweed military is busy causing havoc, going into the villages and massacring innocent Biafrans in Old Imo State and Old Anambra State, while their foot soldiers are busy doing the needful in the Old Enugu and the Ebonyi State. As I'm talking to you right now, including some part of Abia. The Zoo, I want you to see how they shared it. The Zoo Janjaweed military and the Sawana terrorist organization of Asari Tokumbo who are busy doing their own job against the innocent citizens of Biafra in Imo State, Anambra, Imo and Anambra, then plus some part of Delta State and River State. Why their foot soldiers, their herdsmen, terrorists, and the Boko Haram are busy doing their biddings in Enugu, Ebonyi, and some part of Abia State. So meaning that na everywhere Juruoyi maka ije nwere onwe ogu nwere onwe anyị na-anọ, while everywhere dị ọkụ maka conquest of our land. I want you to understand what is happening. Musa will come to TV station and say, since Simon Ekpa was arrested, that everywhere is relatively calm now in the East. This same Musa is not telling you that everywhere is what he meant is that anything about Biafra is calm. But he's not telling you that the East is hot because his men are busy doing their bidding in some part of the East, while their foot soldiers are busy doing their bidding in some other part of the East. He cannot tell you anything like that. He is busy telling you how everywhere is relatively calm in the East now. Shame. Shame. And in the Igbo na-eso ya, people wrote petition for the arrest of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and they are Igbo people. Fabu ndị Igbo. I don't know. You know, sometimes in Nesianya, you can boom.
In Enugu State, and to a lesser extent, other states in the southeast of Nigeria. Public anger and frustration development are at a boiling point and have indeed led to protests in the streets of Enugu, where the overwhelming perception is that the government of Governor Peter Amba is not doing enough to address the attacks, and that his inaction actually serves as an encouragement to whoever that is behind carnage on human lives. For a quick chat around that, we're now being joined by Dr. Chukwudi Anyanuka, a media and journalism lecturer who recently made a fact-finding tour of Eha Mufu, the hotbed of the attacks. Dr. Anyanuka is also a member of the Guild of Public Affairs of Nigeria and National Publicity Secretary, Association of Communication Scholars and Professionals of Nigeria. Good morning, Doctor. Good to have you join us on the morning show today.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Thank you very much. Give us your eyewitness account of what is happening. The media, of course, has been awash with so many gory pictures, stories here and there. The intervention we heard from the deputy governor of the state, the intervention especially from the Catholic mission in Enugu State, particularly around the area where it is the hotbed there. And we understand that you have even, taken a trip down there to assess things for yourself. What did you find out? What is going on? And is it real, everything that we're hearing in the media that is happening in that part of Enugu State?
Thank you very much. Your narrative is quite correct in terms of the brouhaha, or how would I put it, in terms of the protests and all the narratives we've been hearing concerning the killings.
First of all, this stupid man, I wish he's watching this very broadcast this evening. This very stupid man called it brouhaha. He said brouhaha. This man called it brouhaha. This is not even the issue. Just pay attention and listen to him.
So on Friday, I actually joined a team of journalists. There are about 30 of us, and we traveled to, first of all, Ikem, and then, of course, we now traveled to Ehamufu to ascertain the veracity of those narratives. But I can tell you that we also had the opportunity of interviewing a lot of locals. We had to talk to them to find out exactly their own points of view concerning the alleged killings. First,
he said the alleged killings. And this very man is an Igbo man. Ndị Igbo na-ele onwe fa. Ndị Igbo na-ele onwe fa kedu ife anyị melụ ndị mmadụ. Ndị Igbo na-ele onwe fa tọrọ. Penny afọ. How much did they pay you that you will come and lie on on national television where everybody is watching you? You come and lie against the dead. How much did they pay you? I have videos and pictorial evidences of the carnage, the gruesome murder of innocent Biafrans in Ehamufu. I have the videos, gory images that can't even be shown on social media, on YouTube, or even Facebook. These were among the things that we were waiting and hoping that our app would be ready before the Finland Convention, before Mazi Simon Ekpa was arrested, so that we can be able to be making use of this very app to showcase it to the whole world what is going on in the land of Biafra and the zoo at large. Unfortunately, they did what they did, and our prime minister was arrested up till now. And this man said, alleged. Let's continue.
What the protests we saw were circulated on the social media kind of indicated that there were mass killings, but we didn't see anything like that on the spot.
How can you see it? How can you see? Biafrans, I want you to pay attention. At the end, you are going to see, you're going to know who sent this man. I want you to download everything he's saying, bear it in mind. At the end, you will see who this man is.
First of all, we visited, there was a farm settlement. I think that place, if I'm not mistaken, is called Obete. It's called Obete, similar to the Obete, the Enugu. But that is the rail line area. I think they called it the Olie Uzo Ago. Olie Uzo Ago. I think that's what they call Olie Uzo Ubo being strained. So I understand that there was a time when locals would, during the farming season, would migrate to that place and then live, you know, as a community. They also had school around there. So they lived as a community in that neighborhood where they would farm. As soon as the farming season was concluded, they would return back to their homesteads. But right now, that place is actually deserted. But at what point did that place get deserted? Why did the locals leave? I understand there was an incident that occurred in 2022, January, and then sometime in December 2022, where entire communities were sacked completely on account of, you know, the crisis. I mean, they were attacked, I understand, by Fulani headsmen. They were attacked and they had to leave their communities in drove. Then
Did you see? Did you hear him? He said he understands that in the year 2022, 2020 and 2022, that some group, it was even difficult for him to call that, to mention Fulani herdsmen. It was difficult for this criminal, look at on here, and irigo gonu bendia, onu get bendigo because of lies and deceit. It was difficult for him to mention that name, Fulani herdsmen terrorist. But he knew that he has no any other option if not to mention the name the way it is. And he has to mention it. Look at him. Look at him. Onyori, criminal. Onyori. Orige goni engo. Ono engo gogi. Onyori. So, are you telling me that it was what happened in 2020 and 2022 till today that these locals you are talking about that deserted their farmland and homeland have not been able to return back to their homes and farmlands because of what happened in 2022, and there is no Fulani that has occupied that land? Now, yet the locals are unable to return back to their homes and farmlands. You see yourself. This is what criminality have caused on our own people. Betrayals everywhere. Quest for fame and money. Money and power mongering. This is what criminality has caused our own people. Lying to their teeth. Emalezioku emankuya because akugogo.
And, you know, we began to question, wanted to know between 2022 and today, has there been any such incident that occurred? But what we were able to find out, okay, number one, we found out that, yes, indeed, somebody was killed. A certain Donatus Ndubisi was actually killed in the farm.
Do you think it's possible?
Donatus. This man, Anamajugi, Kedonye Buru Donatus. Because everything that this man is trying to say, when it's something that has to do with Fulani herdsmen terrorists, it becomes very difficult for him to say it. It becomes very, very difficult for him to speak, even to mention that name. It becomes difficult for him. Now, let's continue.
One. And then we also found out that there was a woman that was raped. And then...
So, you see, why he's trying to... Let me give you the psychological, the way this man is trying to use psychology. He's trying to use, although I've forgotten that word. This man is using reverse psychology against our own people. As in, if he's trying to let you know, yes, that now the allegation or the alleged massacre of people, something happened, but it's not really the massacre as it was portrayed on the social media. You know, he was trying to let you know that, like he said, one Donatus was, you know, unalived, and then the other one, he said one woman was raped. One Donatus was unalive. That is what he's saying. He's telling you that yes, something happened, but it's not the way it was being, you know, showcased on social media. And he's telling you that yes, something happened, but it was just one of this, one of that. Reverse psychology. That is what this man is using, but we are going to bust him.
The original account, or the earlier account we heard, the woman was raped, that they actually stuck a stick into her private part, and that.
You see, he said what they had, but let's continue.
She had
Pay
actually
attention.
Died and was in the mortuary. But I can say we went to the home of that woman, and when we interviewed her, she said, I may not.
Can you see? Ifugo ndị Igbo, ife aka fa ji wele nwanne fa, ife aka ndị Igbo ji wele Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, ife aka ndị Igbo ji wele Maazị Simon Ekpa, egbue dike na ọgụ ụnọ, ọgụ amaruo achọwa dike. Pay attention, my people.
Say that she's hale and healthy, because she explained to us that she was still having difficulty in.
Something that I have videos and picture evidences that happened in so many places within that community. I even posted a video last month where one person mustered courage to go to the center, Ehamufu Center, to record a video where everywhere was completely deserted. Nobody is seen at sight. There's a 4-corner road there. There's a 4 road and junction. Nobody was seen at sight. Everywhere is completely deserted. Now let's continue.
In walking, but then that hadn't. So that was a very false narrative. We also wanted to find out whether there was any incident of mass killing, and we can tell you, I can speak, authoritatively, that all the reports we heard does not indicate that there has been any such mass killings. So when people
you are a liar, you are a rogue. Ifele megbuogi osinafa ya bụ anya n'ụka. Anya n'ụka ka osina anya n'ụka. Ifele megbuogi. I wonder how you will be enjoying this money, knowing that you have come and lied against the dead. Shame on you. Ifele megbuogi n'ezinụlọ gị. I wonder how you will be, enjoying driving your car, your big car, enjoying that money that was paid to you by the local government chairman, and then, oh, chai, alone. How would you be enjoying that money that was paid to you by the local government chairman of Hamufu, knowing very well that this money you're enjoying is because you lied against the dead? Ifele megbuogi ndị Igbo. Chai!
Report that about 100 or 200 people had been killed and murdered, and then these things there actually wasn't anything like that. But then again, we must also say that there is still skirmishes of insecurity. The local government chairman admitted as much, that there are still skirmishes of insecurity. But that is not also different from what we are seeing in some other communities. I'd like to draw an example.
You see? But that is not different from what they are seeing from other communities. Therefore, Ehamufu people can be massacred, they can be chased away, their lands can be taken over. It is not a new thing. It is not different from what they are seeing in other community. That is what this man is saying. And I'm saying, shame on you. Ifere megbuogi. Chukwu dị anya anụ ka ifere megbue gị. Shame.
Recently, we saw a video that went viral. This thing happened at Uboka is actually somewhere in Nkanu East local government area. I don't know, you probably would have seen it, where a young man was taking a video, and he was actually showing how a Fulani herdsman with his cattle, the man was pulling out cassava, from the farms and then feeding it to the cows. And he was actually saying that, no, this is unfair, that this might actually lead to some kind of crisis. So I wanted to draw some kind of similarity between the two incidents. So we have issues of insecurity, the issues of Hamufu particularly, but I can say that from all the things we observed on Friday, that there has not been any such mass killings as advertised or as promoted.
All right. Ehamufu. That's where you have, assessed, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. You said Ehamufu. But there's been reports by a social media influencer called Nedu Ani, who's talked about, the Udi local government area being under siege, both in Afa, Egede, Eke, and some other towns. They've said that, they've witnessed a tremendous amount of killings. And we did see videos